at the El Segundo Women's Club Clubhouse, built in 1912, celebrating its addition to the National Register of Historic Places. It's the first building in El Segundo to receive this recognition.
Thank you for joining us for this historic moment in the El Segundo Women's Club's 101-year history.
I think it's fabulous. What an exciting thing. I've been telling my whole family, telling everyone I know, our building is given a historical landmark designation. That's quite an achievement, and Jane did a fabulous job.
Well, I wanted to do this ever since I heard about the history of the building. So 2 years ago, I proposed to the president at that time that I would do an application. I contacted the state historian, Amy Crane. She told me most people hire a professional because this is not an easy process, but I was determined. So I persevered, and I'm glad I did because I learned so much about the history of El Segundo and the women who started this club, and it was a great experience. I also had a lot of wonderful people who helped me along the way with little pieces of the application, but it was an 18-month process for me researching and writing the narrative, and then it took 6 months for it to go through a state review, and then it has to be approved on a federal level, because this designation actually comes from the U.S. Department of the Interior. It's a very complicated process. There are a lot of technical things about it, terminology. I had to have a specific pen to label the photographs. There's a protocol for everything. So it's a very labor-intensive and all-consuming undertaking, but it was definitely worth it.
Congratulations to Jane Burrell and BB and the rest of the team that put this together. I know it was a lot of work and a very bureaucratic process. They got it done on the first attempt.
I actually had my wedding reception here 30 years ago. We're very excited, and thank you to Jane Burrell who made this happen. She's very diligent and got all her facts together, and she was able to get the application approved on the first try, which is amazing. And we're just really happy that this place will now be preserved for the history of our community.
This building goes back to, I believe, 1912, the year after Standard Oil coming here and forming this city. It was a schoolhouse right across the way, and so I think it's absolutely fitting with the history and tradition of El Segundo.
So the building was built when Standard Oil founded the new town of El Segundo to provide a place for the workers in the refinery and their families to live. One of the first structures they built was a schoolhouse. It was used by El Segundo as a one-room schoolhouse. It opened with 62 students, grades 1 through 8, at the current site of Richmond Street School, so across from the library on Richmond Street, just off of Main Street in El Segundo.
The El Segundo Women's Club purchased the building from the El Segundo School Board in 1936 and moved it to its current location. Today, there are about 40 members in the club, which was founded in 1922.
I love the camaraderie of the women, the programs they support, the fun meetings, what they do for the city, and it's just great to be among exciting, interesting women, and some men too. My husband was a member as well.
My mother is a member here. I believe my mother-in-law is a member here as well. If not, she's here often. And Councilmember Carol Perstlick's a member here. In fact, my wife's doing a charity event here in a couple months right here in this facility.
I live about 2 blocks away, and I always walked by it, and when I was younger I always wanted to be a member of the women's club, and when it was so convenient they were so welcoming, and it was really great. They understand that I'm a full-time parent, working parent, so it was really nice to be welcomed. This is a really great group of women. They have done many things. We have great little events that we're trying to get off the ground. Some of them are the holiday boutique, the springtime boutique. We have a community garage sale and all funds go to philanthropic endeavors in the city to help all of our students in the community, which is really great. And this, the club just gives back as much as they possibly can. Today's flowers came from the garden that was donated from the Women's Club to the city at Library Park. So just a little bit, it's been there since the 1930s, and we keep it going still. And it's just a really great way to just give a little bit of love back to the city.
The club was founded by 17 women in 1922. It's part of the larger Federation of Women's Clubs, which is a national federation. The local chapter here in El Segundo was specifically founded by those 17 women to help their neighbors and promote civic engagement. And from that time, we've done civic events, we do community engagement events, and we do fundraising so that we can give money back to the community.
Just if you are ever thinking about joining, you can. It's very much works with your schedule. Anyone can join, so please come and join us.
Congratulations to Jane Burrell and everyone involved in the research and application process. The hard work has paid off. Come on over to 541 Standard Street to admire the clubhouse and its new plaque. For El Segundo Media, I'm Catherine Chen.
1, 2, 3.